I try to give Nintendo the benefit of a doubt whenever new games seem to be coming to the online service because I'm a hopeful person. I know how vast and great the NES library is. I know how vast and great the Super Nintendo library is. But every time, like, I set my expectations here, they somehow manage to come here. They go below, they limbo under my expectations because, like I said in yesterday's video, we did indeed get some new SNES and NES games, and wow, gee willikers, we got some video games. Some video games. So let's take a look. First time on the channel, subscribe, all that crap. All right, NES, we have Pinball. Because, black box games, those have held up just so well. And just to the point of where it's like, you know what? I really want to pull a black box NES game off my shelf that's not Super Mario Brothers. Like, Jesus Lord. I don't even think I've ever played this game because... Okay, here we go. It's Pinball. Let's see if we can get a high score here. We got a seal. Like, and I understand that when this game came out, like, video games were at a completely different point, as far as what you could do with them, as far as what was acceptable. So during the time frame this came out, this is probably okay. Like, it wasn't the worst game in the world. It was just something that was okay. Everyone sort of understood. Go away, stupid menus. Everyone just sort of understood that this is what, we were coming off the Atari 2600 and stuff like that. But looking at it retroactively, like, this is the game. Okay, this is the game here. This is the table here. This is the pinball table here. This is all you'll do. Great music too, great soundtrack. The ball doesn't even go up because I didn't hit it hard enough. Just go, please, for the love of God. There we go. We hit the ball. We got the little seals. Look at the little happy seals because they're not getting clubbed by some sicko. That's weird to me. Like, leave seals alone, dude. Like, what is wrong with you? I'm gonna beat up this baby seal. I'm gonna get his coat or something. Like, God, no. Get a different hobby, sir or madame. But yeah. Here's Pinball, and the physics in the game, obviously you could tell, they are immaculate. It's the most basic form of pinball. And like I said, back in 86, 85, this was acceptable, but there's no reason that anyone really wants to go back and play this game unless there's a nostalgia factor, unless, like, I don't know, your grandmother bought you this game when you were a kid, so you have an emotional attachment to it. And if that's the case, then you probably own the game physically because, it reminds you of grandma. Like, you weren't sitting here waiting. Oh, shit, man. I really hope Nintendo puts pinball on there so I can have my memories of grandma and going over to grandmother's house. Now, let's look at Super Nintendo crap. So did we get some hit RPGs, some fighting games to play online with your friends? Because that would be fun. A nice one-on-one fighter, like I said in yesterday's video. Some RPGs to dive into because let's be realistic. The Super Nintendo has a ton of RPGs and they're not really well represented on this service. Did we get anything fun like that? No. Instead, we got Congo's Caper and Rival Turf. Now, I would like to say, let's look at Rival Turf's box art here. What was going through somebody's head when they made this? These are like 13-year-old kids that you see on the street, like stoop kids or something like that. Get the hell out of here. And I will say Rival Turf isn't a bad game, and I don't know what Congo's Caper is. It looks like Donkey Kong and Mario and I don't know. Let's look at this game. Now, I've never played these games before, but once again, when you think of great NES games, great Super Nintendo games, I don't think Congo's Caper comes to mind. Now, the interesting thing is these are like Data East and Jellicoe games, which have been re-released on literally everything. Like the Evercade has these, every pretty much retro system, plug and play system has these because they're very easy to get licensing for. Data East and Jellicoe and, all those other companies are very just loosey-goosey with their licensing. They're like, oh, you want to put our games on something? Sure, we'll make some money. So let's look at this game. Like I said, I've never played it before. It's a platformer. You got a stick. Like, and it's not a terrible game. It's just that when you think of Super Nintendo games, these are not the games you're thinking of. Why am I a monkey now? What the hell? I got hit and now I'm a monkey? How do I break this? Can't break it. You got some Metroidvania elements in this game. But like that's the big problem here. Like if this was like, if Rival Turf and this were complementary games to something else, to a bigger title, then I don't think people would care all that much. They'd be like, oh, okay, you know, at least it's something, you know, something extra besides the big marquee title. The problem is, and I always say this, there is no big marquee title with this. So now I'm a human again. So I guess this is like the evolution process in a video game format. You see, you thought, what the hell was the name of that game? Somebody tell me in the comments. It was an Enix game where you go through the evolutionary process. It's a very expensive game. I actually really like the game. I can't remember the name of the damn thing. But yeah, like these are not marquee titles. Little Monkey Man, and there's a slot machine teaching kids gambling and stuff, teaching kids to club someone. You know, it looks fine. It plays fine. But there's a million games like this on the service already, and we don't need another one. We need some RPGs. We need some fighting games. This big ass dinosaur. I do like dinosaurs. Okay, I died. Let's take a look at Rival Turf. So I guess these were the kids on the box art. I don't know. They look a little bit older. This guy kind of looks like M. Bison with a tan. Jack Flack and Uzi Nelson. Got a whopping 2 characters to choose from and a beat 'em up. And like I said, I know this game. I think a lot of people know this game. It's not the worst game in the world. It's a beat 'em up. There are lots of beat 'em ups from this era. It looks a little like extra bright. I don't know if that's just my memory not being all that great, but I feel like this looks brighter. And why is it so cropped? Like, I know that Super Nintendo games were cropped because of the screen resolution, but this just feels like ridiculously cropped. Go away. I had to re-download the damn things. Okay, thank you for the tutorial. I don't need the tutorial. You know what? I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't want to go away. There we go. Now I got hit by the tall, lanky man. Like, it's just frustrating. Because you know what the Super Nintendo library has. You know what the NES library has. And we know that there are lots of games that are not indicative of those libraries, mostly third-party games that are not on there. But this is what we get. Rival Turf, Pinball, which is a first-party black box game, and Congo's Caper. Like, if these were the games you grew up playing, like, I'm sorry, but your parents didn't love you. And even, because, like, think about it this way. Even if your parents couldn't afford, like, every game in the world, and that was the situation at my house, you would still pick out a game, and they would, like, that would be, like, your one big Christmas gift, you know? They would save up the money. They would go out there and try to find that one game for you to make you happy. I don't think many people were like, oh, shit, I need Rival Turf. I need Black Box Pinball. I need Congo's Caper. Congo's Caper. I'm getting my ass kicked in this game. You know why? Because I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed. This is just, what's the point of a service if you're just gonna like do, and comparative to other services coming out. Look at all the PlayStation 1 games that are coming to the new PlayStation Now service. Look at all the classic Xbox games. These are the dregs of society that you're picking up and adding to the service. These are the games that people want. I don't know, man. You know, like I said, I like beat 'em up games. This isn't a bad game. You know, this is kind of a cool level. I'm on a really big bus. I don't know why these people aren't trying to fight and defend these people. We got the lanky man here. Just disappointing. Disappointing. And it just shows you that they don't really care. Whoever is in charge, Nintendo, this is me talking. This is RGT talking. One-on-one with you guys. Whoever's in charge of picking out games for this service, fire them. Fire them. They do not deserve their job. They should not have their job. They don't need their job. Hire me. I can work remotely. I don't need to be out there on the West Coast with you guys. I can work remotely. I can help you pick out the games, acquire the licenses. It can't be that damn hard to put a game on your online service. But no, I'm not hired because Nintendo hates me anyways and tries to take down my video. I'm done with these games. I am done. Let me know what you think of them in the comment section down below. If you grew up playing these, I'm sorry. And as always, thanks for checking out this video. Blah, blah, blah. This has ruined my morning. It's ruined my day, probably. Goodbye. Catch you on the next video. Later.